Welcome or welcome back to the 8th Concession. My name is Natalie. Well, I'm sorry I've been away for a little while. As I posted, I was down in London, Ontario, not England, with my son and daughter-in-law as they welcomed their second baby, and I was on babysitting duty with my other granddaughter. So I had a wonderful time. However, I was away for almost a week, and in the meantime, the garden has gone crazy. There are things to be harvested. The onions have decided they're done. The beets are ready to be pickled. The garlic is done. I haven't even actually had a good enough look in the garden to see what all has happened while I've been away. But I do want to pull some things out of the ground today. So this is actually my first real harvest of the season. So come on, let's go see what's happening in the garden. Well, first of all, you can see that the weeds over here have gone absolutely crazy because I haven't been here to keep them down. And they're pretty bad here between these two rows too. But this is what I'm talking about in my onion bed. Once your onion stems start to fall over like this, the onions are done. They're not going to rebound and start growing some more. You're basically at the end. And because you can see they're also turning quite a bit brown here, it's time to pull them out. I can see that we've gotten some decent sized bulbs. So I don't think it's too bad. I am a little surprised how they just suddenly gave up the ghost, but that's the way it goes in the garden, depending on the weather and the temperatures. We have had some cool temperatures at night, and so I think maybe that's what prompted it. The thing that's disturbing me though is here along the side, I think I'm also going to pull the leeks, but the leeks are doing strange things. I'm not sure that the leeks, I think the leeks might be done too. This sort of curling over is not entirely normal. They usually grow quite straight. So I think I'm going to pull the leeks as well. I have to be careful I don't pull too many things that need preserving and something done to them because I don't have that much time today. But I am going to get the onions out first. So let's do that. One thing I'm noticing is you can see it's very goopy here. I think this has a lot to do with the rain we've been having. Now, we had a wet summer last summer, and I thought this summer might be dry and hot, but it has been warm, but we've had rain almost every day, which is really unusual for us. Even days where they don't forecast it because of the heat, it seems that storms or rain develop, but this is unusual for it to be this soggy right here, and that's on all of them. You can see how, so I'm worried they're going to rot, which is why I want to get them out of the ground today, get them drying. The bulbs are still good, but yeah, these definitely need to come out of the ground today. I don't really have time to do the beets right now, but the beets are at the size that I really like them. I don't like them to get too large, so I am going to harvest the beets today, and hopefully I can get to pickling them this afternoon. This one is a lovely, perfect size. This one I think is already too large for my liking, but we're going to pull them today and deal with what we've got. So here's the beet harvest. You can see that my bushel basket isn't even nearly big enough. I've got great size beets. I do like them about this size for pickling, but some are smaller, some are larger, but that is a ton of beets. So I have to confess that I buy my beet seeds at the dollar store. They're not too many in each pack, but if you remember from when I planted them, there were about 3 packs worth. So that cost me 3 packs for $1. That is $1's worth of beets. You can't beat that. Pardon the pun. The last big harvest I have to do today is my garlic. It is ready to come out and I want to get it drying, because if we get more rain, things are just going to start to rot in the ground. So garlic is next. There, the onions, the beets, and the garlic is all harvested. I'm going to start drying the onions and the garlic, and I'm going to pickle the beets hopefully this afternoon. But doing this harvest has exposed some things in my garden. One I already knew was a problem. The other one is some more harvesting I have to do because some produce has been hiding under the leaves. But first, right here, the tomatoes. As you might remember, I decided to grow a new type of tomatoes this year, silver fir. And it was supposed to be somewhat blight resistant. Well, I guess it's never come across the blight we have here on the 8th concession, because they are doing terrible. Let me show you. Now that the garlic is out of the way, you can see the extent of the damage of the blight. You can see those brown leaves. The spots are all the way up to these top leaves. See that? That's bad news. Typically, if the blight is just affecting the bottom, I can still get a crop off the top. And you can see there are a few tomatoes that have set, but you can also see all around them the plant has died. So I'm not very hopeful that this is going to turn out to be any sort of slicing tomato crop. Now the funny thing is, well, I guess it's not funny. These 2 plants at the back, if you remember, were the Peron sprayless that self-seeded in my back garden bed last year. And as I couldn't bear to throw them all out, I grew some. And while they also have a lot of blight at the bottom, you can see how much green growth there still is. Now, they haven't set, well, they've only set baby tomatoes. But because the top is still looking so good, I might get a few tomatoes off this one and this one, although you can see the bottom. I did try and trim out a lot of the blight, which is why it's very bare down there. But again, at least it still has good growth on top here. So maybe I'll get something out of them. But the silver fir, they're a bitter disappointment. And although I didn't see any blight last year on my Matt's wild cherry tomatoes, I do see that actually this year there is some blight down here. But look at the strength and the health of this plant. It goes all the way up here. So, and you can see there are some cherry tomatoes setting. So the thing about this is, while I'm surprised that it has blight, I am still going to get cherry tomatoes off of it. These, however, these sorry looking things. Now on this bed, my cup of Moldova tomatoes, I knew that they did succumb to blight. I usually get a crop off first, and you can see with the rain we've had every day and humid. Oh, it's been so humid here. It's like walking out into a sauna every day. That is like the perfect conditions for a fungal disease like blight to spread. So yes, there is blight all down here. I'm still hopeful with the number of flowers that have been set, and with the amount of tomatoes that are already on the go, that I am going to get enough sauce tomatoes. These are my plum tomatoes, to do some tomato sauce. So I'm hoping this will be salvaged. Look at that. That's a zucchini. Can you believe the size of those leaves? Let's have a look and see what's happening below. I've already harvested 3 or 4 zucchinis. Oh my goodness, I've missed one right there behind that yellow leaf. It's already quite large. Surprise harvest today. Now, harvesting my beets over in bed number 2 has also exposed a problem I didn't see from the other side. And that is, I have some cucumbers that were hiding. Oh, look, that one's beautiful. That's a market more. Looks like we're having cucumber salad tonight. These are supposed to be pickling cucumbers, but they're larger than I'd like. Well, that one's a good size. But these are already quite large. Again, I've been away for a week, so I've missed them. I guess I could cut them into spears and pickle them that way. Anyway, I'm going to have to actually pull a few cucumbers today as well. So that's the first big harvest done of 2024. Let's see what we've got. So a basket full of garlic, which for me was free because I just used some of the cloves from last year that I had left over. The onions, right, I should say the onions. They were also free to me because I save my onion seeds, so a massive amount, because that is actually a whole hod full of onions, and half a wagon free. As I mentioned a little while ago, my beet seeds I buy at the dollar store, 3 packs for $1. So this entire overflowing bushel basket and the other half of the wagon of beets for $1. And the first flush of cucumbers, so there's pickling cucumbers in the basket, and market more slicing cucumbers, 1 more zucchini. I've actually been harvesting quite a bit of zucchini. So the cucumbers, I didn't buy the seed this year, so it was leftover seed, but let's say I paid about $3 for the pack, and this is maybe the 2nd or 3rd year. So let's just say $1, but this isn't the full crop, of course, of cucumbers. So let's say this is about 35 cents worth of the crop of cucumbers. So This is my harvest for $1.35. Hope your gardening season is coming along and that you're getting a big harvest too. Bye for now.